part and get the show on the road. This first piece is called Begin Transmission. So when we started preparing this one, I think it was Jackson. He said, "What does this have to do with Christmas?" I said, "I don't know. That's your job to be creative and come up with something." So we came up with Santa's revving up his sleigh, and he's getting ready to fly all the toys to their house for all the little kids. All right? So that's what I want you to think about as we play this piece called Begin Transmission. As they make their way to the next piece, it is entitled Patapan, and it is a traditional French Christmas carol. So it's been a great one to work on because it's very fugal. So a fugue like Bach back in the day when he first started writing music, and everybody was like, "This is amazing," right? Everybody wanted to hear a fugue. So that's kind of what this is. What that means is there's this main melody, and it kind of gets passed around and repeated, and there's some variations on that. But you'll kind of hear some echoing of the main theme and the main idea, and they'll even be played like 2 beats apart sometimes. So it kind of sounds confusing, but it's also super interesting. So this has been a cool one to work on. It's called Patapan. a chamber piece for you guys, so it's a small ensemble piece. It's one I found, and it's really cool. It also has nothing to do with Christmas, but I wanted these guys to learn it. It's called Of Thunder and Steel, so if you're like me and you like Marvel, I like Thor, he's pretty cool. This piece is kind of about him and his hammer and Mjolnir. So, Thunder and Steel, right, Thor, lightning and hammer. You'll hear some elements of that. So we've got the big bass drum like it's like you're hammering, all right, and then also kind of the thundering sound with the toms and the bass drum as well. And then there's Caleb's going to play the hi-hats, which is traditionally what you'd hear like on a drum set, right? But that's kind of the steel part. So you got the thunder, the bass drum, the banging hammer with the toms, and then the steel with the hi-hat. So as soon as they're ready to go, I'll count them off and let them have at it. This piece is Of Thunder and Steel.
I was watching it. The timer was still going. Did you just pause the recording? No.
Yeah, that's a cool piece. I really like it a lot. I truly had very little to do with that one. I just said, here it is. We're working on this. Y'all go work on that. So they've done a great job putting that together for the most part by themselves. So, all right, we've got one more for you before we change sets again for a jazz band. We'll have everybody come out and join us on this one again. This piece is called Again, and it's a very repetitive type of song. You're going to hear the same thing again and again, but not in a very, what I would consider obnoxious way. It's a really cool piece. It's got a very pretty melody, and I don't know, I just like the way it sounds. I like all the chords and everything about it. So this piece is called Again. While he's gonna finish setting up, it takes forever sometimes for us, right? We have 100 things up here. So these guys are involved in a heck of a lot of stuff around here. Not only are they taking their regular classes, several of them you're about to see are in jazz bands, so they play in that. They play in this percussion ensemble that we do in 5th period. They play in concert band. We had our concert last week. They've been on drumline. With marching band. Right now we're also in the middle of preparing our indoor drum line, our winter drum line, so they're involved in a heck of a lot, just music stuff on top of their regular schoolwork. So I'm super proud of the work that they've put in, and I'm always pushing them to do more and more. So, all right, this is our last piece. It's called Again.
You know he's singing.
Thank you all so much. We're going to get these guys off stage and all of these instruments, and then jazz band's up next.